Before starting to write, plan minimally your story. Think out what is the story you want to tell about, main characters and major events. Maybe you already know the end of the story before writing the first sentence. That's not bad, not at all. Second, once you start writing, don't stop. Keep your hand moving. Write and write, telling your story with many details. They will appear as you write. While you write, don't worry about punctuation or spelling or syntax. You can correct it all at the end, when you have finished your story, not while you're writing it. Third, keep from start to end the same point of view of the narrator. Don't jump from first to third person in the middle of the story. You must be able to maintain the same point of view of the narrator from start to end in your story. Fourth, don't change tenses. A mistake is going from past to future. As in the previous case, jumping tenses in a moment of peak action should be avoided. Fifth, don't use telegraphic language. Describe the space, conversation, gestures, and actions with a logic extension. Don't be lazy. The idea is clear in your head, so write it down with as much detail as possible. Sixth, avoid possible abuse of onomatopoeias and the dots of ellipses. This is not a comic. Maybe in colloquial speech it aids communication, but in the written word, onomatopoeias and three-dot ellipses must be described through their effects. 7. Use adjectives and adverbs sparingly. From a misconception that the literary is the ornate, baroque, and elaborate, people tend to imitate the Greek authors using language that sounds like literary. 8th, use simple words. In writing a story, you don't need to resort to unusual and high-sounding words, but the naturalness, vitality, and continuity of the scenes. If you describe a child on the beach that says, "Oh, Dad, have you noticed how beautiful is that crustacean that lies beneath the sun?" No one is going to believe it, because nobody talks like that. Ask yourself, do your characters within the text talk about as real people talk in real life? 9th, don't write philosophical theses about loneliness, war, and love, but write made-up concrete stories, starting with the proper names of the characters, streets, and cities. Instead of a tree, write pine, not a town, but London, not a child, but Charles, not a flower, but a white rose. So be specific. Use concrete nouns. 10th, make your story full of details and movement. A tale should almost always have something inside. A story, a conflict, a scene, an event. Make it happen stuff, not necessarily tragedies. And that your characters move and make gestures. Describe using all the senses: sight, hearing, smell, touch, and taste. In the small visual and tangible details is often the magic of a well-described scene that catches the readers. 11th, check it all when you have finished. Edit, change, cross out the necessary, add details, and sharpen your text. Now is the proper time.